So, I'm actually going to deliver my traditional, I would say, 10-minute presentation just to give everybody a different viewpoint on what we're doing, but summarizing stuff. Great. So, yeah, we know that very well, this territory. And by the way, Michael also has produced a great paper on together with Vladimir, on the history and on the legal position of Liberland. It still remains basically unclaimed in the border dispute between Croatia and Serbia that is happening. This particular territory has never been claimed by either side, which is, I would say, the best possible place on the planet Earth to start a new country, right? In that sense, that we're actually in the heart of Europe, in a sense, close to the civilization. We don't have to go to Antarctica to start a new country, yet we are not taking over anybody else's territorial claim. And I think that's very precious property of Liberland, right? That unlike in other places, you would have to become separatist and you would have some sort of problems that normally the countries really don't like and they really like to repel it. In Liberland, we've got this funny situation that the more Croatia wants to get land, the less they can actually claim Liberland for themselves. So that's a very important element of the story. And yes, now it's almost 12 years, 10 years, I'm kidding. 10 years since we stick the flag there, and it was pretty exciting event. Of course, I never imagined that we would get in such a nice shape in 10 years in a stable situation when Liberland is growing 20 to 30% every year, and we're about to produce a financial report. Yes, we're quite stable. We're growing as a society and doing, I would say, some amazing things. And Liberland, yes, wants to be the beacon for building the prosperity and prospects of freedom for the rest of the world. We want all the politicians. By the way, we unfortunately couldn't have the chairman of the Czech Libertarian Political Party and also chairman of the United States Libertarian Party coming over for various reasons, but they were confirmed a couple days ago. I believe we will have actually multiple chairmen of different libertarian parties here for next anniversary. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Because again, they will have something to refer to, some system which they can relate to. And yes, I mean, going back to some of the speeches that we heard here, it's much better to have machines running bureaucracy for humans than actually having humans running bureaucracy and extorting other humans. So in a sense, I believe that really bringing blockchain into the governance makes sense if we can get rid of redundant bureaucracy, which this is exactly what Liberland's mission is. And I'm also very excited that we have still Zaha Hadid Architects backing us, as well as Sergio Bianchi. He had a great presentation on behalf of Liberland Architects, as well as we're working intensively with Stanley Luke from China. I would say these three architectural studios are the most helpful in pushing the visions forward. In a couple days, whole Liberland will be walkable in virtual reality that Zaha Hadid Architects have put together. So you'll be able to jump and see Liberland. They have just finalized the incubator center. Also, the Liberland Parliament will be visible there. It should be available for public. This is the design that we have. And yes, Liberland borders are open, but not for everybody, right? Many of you have heard stories. If you're an EU citizen, no problem. You're welcome to come to Liberland and help us settle the place. If you're non-EU, you have a small challenge. You are being banned from Croatia for 90 days after you enter Liberland, which is a form of recognition. And yes, Croatia de facto recognized Liberland. They already gave us the para-state status. But I'm not really seeing these steps done by Croatia as something terribly wrong for us. They're literally helping us to grow to the level of nation state. And yes, like we were a bunch of kids running around in woods a couple years ago, and now we're actually getting to the stage where we really have all the elements of statehood necessary to build a reasonable society. And yes, if from very beginning Croatia did nothing about Liberland, we might not have such a cool governance systems. We didn't have any constitution. Back then we said we will do it, and it really took us 10 years until I really feel confident that the document that we are putting out is a nice document which has all the elements necessary to build a country. So with the 10th anniversary, we are literally putting out the homework that we have been working on for 10 years, and now it's just about the people, if they want to join a new country that is built on these new principles that we have worked hard for 10 years on to make it really nice space for humans to prosper and live in. So with that being said, it's still probably going to be a challenge for a couple of years with Croatia, but I really see it as an important evolutionary step for us to be able to basically solve the problem of security inside of Liberland, despite Croatia's position, which I think is actually a nice game in a sense that it's a great opportunity to test our new systems of governance, but also policing. So I'm just wondering how many of you actually are testing the Liberland mobile app? All right, please, the rest of you guys test it as well. Help us to make it really cool system of Uberized police, something that we need to have. And yes, by now we are actually already fulfilling all the Montevideo criteria, and tomorrow is a very important day because we are restarting the settlement and we are going to push it forward throughout the summer. So this is one of the very important, I would say, 4 legs on which Liberland is standing on. The settlement is one of them, and we are going to seriously support it from tomorrow on. Again, we will have a proper, decent community of people living there. Liberland Congress has been formed. Of course, it's a great honor to have people like Justin Sun showing up. Many people ask me, how did he get involved? Yes, he called me 3 days before election. He didn't know there are elections in Liberland, but he thought that it's the right time to join and come and help Liberland. That's what he told me over the phone, and he asked me, how can I help? I told him, maybe you could run for the position of Prime Minister. I think it would be fun if you did. So he, in the following 2 hours, he signed up and fill up all the citizenship paperwork necessary. And for me, it was a candidate number 1. I also convinced a couple more big merit holders in our system that it's a strategic decision to have Prime Minister, which might actually be the wealthiest Prime Minister in the whole history of planet. Which again, I think it's kind of cool to have a Prime Minister that does have this enormous capacity to create wealth, right? That's what he did. Like, he's only 34 years old. He managed to build this ecosystem where he pulled all the Tether transactions that people like Brock Pierce put together. He managed to pull them over to his, or half of them almost, right? Pull them over to his ecosystem. So we've got these revolutionary minds with us. They are shaping the future of the financial system, and I think they are the great backbone for the future of governance as well, right? Those are the right people to really party with. Kenny Lee, another great person, has done a great job in the last Congress, running Manta Network, very important person. The rest of the guys, you also met Dorian, probably he's running around here. He's helped us quite a bit. He's one of those self-driven people that really can get stuff done without telling them, which is amazing skill. And yes, voluntary 6 taxes are the backbone of what we are building. It's a revolutionary idea, but what Ron Paul said is exactly right. Like, we were really about to build a society without coercion, which is the best way to let people prosper. There is no other better way, because if you avoid coercion, you end up with having the most value created naturally in the society, and that's, I think, most of you can understand. And this idea that not just the taxes are voluntary, but you're being actually rewarded with the very thing that you are supporting, with the share of the very thing you're supporting, in the corporate world doesn't sound too revolutionary, but for some strange reason, this concept has not been applied for the creation of nation state, and I think the time is long overdue. So we have another great opportunity to really bring together something new, and which is this new, completely new type of asset or asset class, which is the sovereignty, as a form of a token, which I truly believe will be something right after the meme coins that the world will turn into and will actually be looking into as an investment. So it's kind of, I think, good to be early in that space as well. And yes, I think we can actually move 99% of bureaucracy to automated system. Why should we set up the system nice and really one that respects human dignity and tries to be as just as possible and voluntary, but why would we need humans to make some decisions in it after all. I mean, we will have human judges, but they could be also aided by AI, because, you know, why would you torture somebody to make decisions on somebody else's court cases if it's not necessary, if the job can be done by somebody else? Let people actually do something productive rather than sit and put some stamps on some documents. So that's another important thing. And what I think is also quite cool is that we are not just talking about these things, they have been put into practice. Company register of Liberland, the asset register of Liberland, elections, budgeting, everything that the country actually needs for proper functioning has been already put into blockchain.liberland.org. Anybody can jump in there and see how Ministry of Finance or Congress is spending the budget, which I think is exciting. We're first government that actually does that. We're not just transparently accounting, but transparently accounting on our own blockchain, which I think we're at least 5 years ahead of any other nation state or sovereign state that could be competing with us. And I think that's a good sales point to other governments. If we make this system really nice, we could just copy paste it. It's all open source, so it's kind of exciting. Yeah. And yes, I already talked about Uberization of police. There is a special task for tomorrow, and I actually decided we will throw some funding behind that. Everybody that makes it to Liberland by tomorrow 12 noon will actually get 100 LLDs. Yeah. Peter is very budget restrictive. He will not like that idea. But I think we should throw some support to the physical presence in Liberland, and I think this is a great opportunity. You just download the mobile app, and you will apply for the job of being there and supporting the run tomorrow, and you will immediately get the tokens in our mobile app. I think it's a nice job that is lying there for you, for anybody to be able to get there. You know, be it with the bus or you could also take the bikes, etc. So if we can focus on organizing that in the evening, please make sure that we get all the people in one WhatsApp group that are going tomorrow, and everybody knows what is going on. We have been working hard in US, in EU. We still have a lot of work to do. I mean, Bogi actually did a great presentation on all our diplomatic trips. This situation in El Salvador is quite funny. We actually, I would say we would be already recognized by El Salvador if Croatia wasn't actively pushing back with their diplomats and their donations. So they're actively following us. And it's kind of cool, right? Like we are able to motivate other countries to do a great humanitarian work abroad because they always double the amount of finances that we put into humanitarian efforts abroad in that sense. I think we should do a proper article. I think Thomas actually did publish a nice article about it, how Liberland is motivating other countries, especially Croatia, to commit humanitarian work abroad. We have to be strategic about these things, but I think also openness might be one of the best ways to go about it, because it's funny, right, that Croatia really goes, and when we give $60,000 at the time to a hospital, and they follow us 2 weeks later and put $120,000 to a school. So it's kind of a funny situation that we have with Croatia on multiple levels. And it also shows you that they actually take us seriously. Like, they follow us wherever we go. They are probably, it's very likely that they are paid people by Croatia even on this event, monitoring what is going on and trying to. But they're also learning. That's the fun part. I know the people that their task is to follow Liberland, and they mostly, like, if they're not super crazy, they usually become fans, right? So Croatia puts a team of specialists on following Liberland, and then we've got another, I would say, fun club made out of agents and policemen that actually follow us every step in the way what we are doing. Yeah, the UN, actually, we will work much closer with the UN. I'm also excited, and we haven't played it. We've got a couple greetings from presidents, former presidents. I think we're leaving it for the peak of the event. And I was in UN 2 weeks ago. I met quite a lot of great people in Vienna. In Geneva with Jennifer, I think we will do some great job in Geneva, and also in New York. I think we will be much more strategically placed there very soon with multiple important key diplomats to push things forward. And of course, this administration in the United States, it's much more likely to support Liberland than the previous one. So I'm quite excited about the power change. I don't think, to be honest with you, that we could have any better in the United States from that point of view. And we are actually planning to put up couple streets named after the President Trump and Elon Musk. So we've got the signs over there. I think that's gonna be fun tomorrow. So yes, and with President of Croatia, we had this friendly meeting, and it must be said that we believe that there is definitely potential dialogue, maybe with not the current people in power in Croatia, but definitely with people that are very likely to get into power after next election. So, and I'm excited that we have people like Ivan Pernar with us, who is monitoring the situation. He's kind of making fun of the political scene, and also in general the Croatian public in a way. But it was pretty amazing that we were in Mexico together, and I have to mention that story, right? And he puts up a 500 peso note, and he says half of Croatians will never see this note. Yes, never have it in their hands. And you know what happened immediately after? Half of Croatians actually went online and looked up that picture. 2 million, which is almost half, right? So he's got this amazing capacity to tap into the spirit of Croatian thinking, which he is definitely gifted, and it's great to have him on board as a person that works with us on pushing Liberland idea forward. So. Yes, and this is an old one. Anyway, the Ark Village. We are here at Ark Village, but this property will expand after we sort out all these bureaucratic hassles here. We have some great plans for a hotel, for a nice spa, for multiple fancy houses. Right now, it's a bit frozen because we're still sorting out some legalities here. Like, wish us good luck that we will be able to push them through. So I would say we are literally dealing with the problems that we're trying to solve with Liberland over in Serbia, and I hope we will be able to solve them. We are planning another round of development very close here, and actually I think it's going to happen in next month. So if you are planning to move here, we have a nice plot where there will be this spa and some swimming pool. You should know about it. We're counting like 1 to 2 million euros to be spent here over next a year or two as well. And we are having a nice development plan for Apatin itself. This area is called Napredak. We already park all our boats there. But we are planning to turn it into very nice shopping center, plus harbor, plus houseboat place. Of course, we need a little bit more support from the local municipality. But once we get it, and I think it's also very likely that sooner or later we will have it, everything should be easier here in Serbia as well, to be able to support infrastructure, support the departure of the boats, for example, from Apatin to Liberland, simply taking care a little bit of the development of our vicinity as well. And yes, we have just recently acquired a shopping center in Batina, from which the settlers will be able to get everything that they need for their settlements. Batina is the closest village in Croatia on the river to Liberland, and we will develop it into a nice place. We're fixing the facade. This is actually AI. The facade needs some upgrade, but it's one of those projects that it's roughly 200,000 euro, but I think it's very important to have it. And yes, we're continuing with the construction in Liberland. It's difficult. I mean, of course, it's anniversary, so we're being hit hard by Croatia from all sides. Our ships were grounded yesterday, so we will see if we can do something with the ships that we have in Croatia, but they literally put tapes on them everywhere, and we have a problem that all the cars that are coming around Liberland, also if they're Liberland related, they're being sent to technical examination and then kept there. So those are the funny ways Croatia is mentoring us but also very funny in the sense that we can make a nice, great story out of it. Kind of funny that literally they ran out of all the options, and the best thing that they can do to us now is to put our cars for the technical examination for 1 month without any reason. So. But anyway, of course, those are the obstacles that we need to overcome. We are still planning to do a tree resort in Liberland over the coming month. So we need a little bit more support for that. And we are planning to do the, let's say, $12 million hotel that Sergio Bianchi has announced. And we already started the clinic, right? We were assured for multiple months that as long as we build with concrete, they will not come with the forestry people and destroy it, but they did eventually last summer. It was kind of expected. We needed to build our seriousness of the case of building in Liberland and properly document what they're doing in order to push things to the next level. So, and I still think it's a great project, by the way, that we will start with a small medical clinic in the center of Liberland and settlement center at the same time. And again, we are planning to restart all these activities in next month or in June. We will see how fast we can organize things. And our fleet is growing. You will be able to see it tomorrow. We've got a bunch of nice boats that we will be using for the trip to Liberland, and a bunch of boats will be also coming from the north with all the people doing the runs. We will keep on working on archaeology. We will keep on doing some great social events. Let me just remind you that these two guys got married in Liberland last year. We need to get a couple more great social events in Liberland of this magnitude and bring the Liberland community physically to Liberland. It's really beautiful, endless sandy beach there. Like you can hardly find a better spot for marriage, right? And we will keep on doing the festivals. The Floating Man Festival is very important. I would say it's in like the middle of the summer festival where we support the settlement with a bunch of people coming. I do have a great surprise for Croatians this year. We are bringing one of the biggest Yugoslavian star when it comes to rock music. So, and they're planning to do it directly in Liberland, which is great. And Liverpoolco, of course, we will continue the great tradition. The plan is to make it the biggest libertarian gathering in Europe. I think we might be able to achieve that already this summer. So for September, the deal is to bring here 500, 600, 800 people and really make a nice party here and in Liberland as well. And yes, and new passports and new passports and new e-residency cards are coming. We might even start issuing driving licenses very soon. It's going to be all announced. So thank you very much.